Hello, I am Photo Finish,
I'm Lord Elros.
and we are here to give you our opinions on The Dark Knight Rises. But before we begin, I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to the shooting incident that happened at the premiere of Dark Knight in Aurora, Colorado. If you didn't know about that, Lord Elros, there was a shooting at the premiere in the US.
Funnily enough, I just read a tweet about it. I don't know the full details, but damn.
Yeah, I was quite shocked myself.
Yeah,
Movie experience really isn't a place for violence.
definitely not. Yeah, shouldn't happen.
Yeah. So, overall, Dark Knight Rises, what was your opinion? We'll start off with the good first, and then we'll go into the bad.
Yeah. Well, when the film first kicked off, I thought, okay, it's obviously gonna build up to something good. Um, because I was a bit confused, like with the beginning at first, but as the movie progressed, I thought the characters were brilliant. Like
Yeah.
the actors and like slash actresses were. I thought they'd done a grand job,
Yeah,
personally.
they were definitely spot on. Tom Hardy's performance as Bane, I was particularly impressed by.
He scared me.
His eyes, it was his fucking eyes. Um, the man portrayed a lot of emotion through his eyes, and
Yeah,
as an actor, it's a testament to his ability, if you ask me.
I'll tell you what. Seriously, like the amount of animosity that came out of his eyes, like when he was interacting with other characters, was just well, shit. I really don't want to be in the same room as this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Dark Knight, the Dark Knight, with Heath Ledger as the Joker, and you are as well.
Beautiful film.
And although with Heath Ledger, you felt uncomfortable when he was on screen, or even when he was off screen,
Yeah.
because you never knew what the hell was going to happen. And
See, that's the thing. Both like both Bane and Joker, they both have reasons where you really don't want to be in the same room with them. But obviously, like the Joker, like you didn't want to be in the same room with him because you was just like, okay, this guy's messed up. I don't know what the hell he's going to do next, so I think I'm going to leave. But yeah, like I say, with Bane, it's just if you're in the same room with him, it's almost like you fear for your very life.
yeah,
Like,
he's pretty much a physical presence. You're there, and you're just like, if I can cross this dude, I'm pretty much good. I'm pretty much fucked.
yeah,
He is that physically intimidating, and as I said, Tom Hardy,
he
he
was
definitely had the
amazing.
build for this film.
Yeah,
I was very impressed with Tom Hardy's performance.
yeah, he
Shall
was
we?
very cold and calculating, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a cold, calculated, but he had his flaws. There was some development with his character flashback.
Mm,
We won't go into details because we're trying to keep this review spoiler free.
yeah,
Um, Opinions on Anne Hathaway's Catwoman?
she was friggin' hot as hell in her suit.
Yeah, she was fucking hot.
I'll
I
tell you what, I was like, sorry, but I was
Yeah,
like incredibly. She was the most realistic out of the lot of them. I
yes,
thought, like, it's perfectly, you know, I can't say it any better than she was the most plausible character, like in the whole entire film.
yeah. Her Anne Hathaway, by the way, she was Catwoman, and she was brilliant in this film. A lot of people were complaining about, oh, it's no Michelle Pfeiffer, blah blah blah. Michelle Pfeiffer is my Batman. Well, not Batman, Catwoman. Well, I'm here to say that Michelle Pfeiffer, you can move along now. I prefer Anne Hathaway hands down
Hell yeah.
to Michelle Pfeiffer.
It's
Uh,
well, besides the fact that sh- she was bad. Like, don't get me wrong, she was still a thief and that, but like, regardless, you didn't hate her.
yes. If you didn't know, in the animated series, I'm not sure how she's portrayed in the comic books, but she was more of a
An actual cat burglar.
she was
Where's
a
she
cat
got her name
burglar.
from?
Yeah, she was a cat burglar, but she also tended to steal for like environmental causes and things like that.
Yeah,
Um, but she was brilliant in this film.
yeah.
Catwoman was very well done.
I totally agreed. I loved her in this film.
Okay, we shall move on to Bruce Wayne, played by Christian Bale.
Again, another brilliant performance, I think, from him in this one.
Yes.
Obviously, a couple of nagging things, like we'll cover that in the negatives though,
Yeah.
but as far as acting goes, it was brilliant. Like you were saying earlier, actually, his voice wasn't as annoying in this film as it was in The Dark Knight.
He still had the Batman voice, which was kind of silly, but the thing is, we've kind of moved past that.
Yeah,
I wasn't particularly bothered by it.
mm,
It is this story is about Bruce Wayne.
yeah.
It's more about Bruce Wayne than it is Batman in a lot of respects. If you would agree with me on that.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. It was kind of like he reached a critical moment in his, well, call it a career if you will,
Yeah,
where it's whether the benefits outweigh the negatives, as it were.
yeah,
Um, it was he definitely reached a crossroad, didn't he?
yes. He was definitely down, and it was. You genuinely didn't know what was going to happen. You're always rooting for the good guy, not the bad guy.
Yeah,
Um, but you kind of felt, well, he's like down to the down,
yeah,
and you didn't know how he was gonna get out of this increasingly escalating situation.
yeah. That was kind of a through the whole film. I was so worried for him. I
Yeah,
was thinking, how the hell could he possibly overcome this?
yeah. Well, this is a story about overcoming the odds,
Yeah,
through and through. This is what the last the last film in this trilogy is about. Overall, in terms of its plot, it was a pretty solid plot. There were some niggling issues here and there, but we'll get to that in a bit. Supporting cast. What was your opinion on the supporting cast?
um, I liked the I liked the reuse of actors, like for those who've seen Batman Begins and such, like I can't
Gary
remember
Oldman?
his yeah, the one who played the Scarecrow.
Oh, yes, I've forgotten his name, but yeah, he's been in every single Batman film. I was sitting there waiting for that. I was like, "Where's the Scarecrow cameo? Who's been in every film?" There he is. Yep,
Yep.
without fail. Yep, there's the Scarecrow.
It was just like, yay, right
Yeah.
at that moment when we saw him.
Mm. Um, I was just sitting there going, "Yeah, they weren't going to leave him out, were they?"
Yeah. As well as, oh, I was going to say, the other supporting roles, like some of the more minor roles, like some of Bane's henchmen, I thought they done a really good job, like being as particularly cold as Bane was.
A lot of them, yes.
Yeah,
In a lot of cases, these henchmen were just like they sacrificed themselves for the ultimate plan, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
In some cases, and it was just like these guys were willing to die for the cause. They were
which I thought
all,
was very, very, like,
mm,
very good, but in a disturbing way almost. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
yeah,
Yeah. It's almost like I don't want to go as far as saying like a religious cult, because that would just be like over the top, but
yeah,
it had that vibe, didn't it?
yeah. And Bane, as I said, Bane's henchmen were very good. Gary
Yeah.
Oldman as Commissioner Gordon was very good.
Yep.
Um, the other supporting casts were very good as well. Um, I was pleased with Michael Caine's performance as Alfred.
Yep.
Once again, he turned in an excellent performance,
Almost
and
had tears in one bit.
yeah,
Mm.
um, yeah, I was genuinely pleased with
Yeah.
this film. It had a good supporting cast and it had a good main cast. Next, shall we discuss the action scenes? We won't go into details on them, of course, but what was your opinion about choreography and the action scenes in general?
Well, in general, I thought they were pretty mind blowing. Like some of the action scenes, like all the explosive scenes and like car chases, were just, yeah,
Yeah,
proper mind blowing.
yeah.
I don't know if you'll agree with me or not, but
Oh yeah, they were excellently shot.
yeah,
This is a testament to Chris Nolan. He knows how to direct action. I mean, if you look at his past films, the past Batman films, and things like what was it called? Inception. That's it. He is an action director
mm.
through and through. He is an action director, and he's a damn good one.
Well, it definitely shows in this film.
Yeah, he is excellent, and anybody that can floor him on his action direction, I don't think you can.
Yeah. I mean,
Admitted,
hell, even some of the dramatic scenes were gripping.
yes, the dramatic scenes were very good. You felt for these characters. It wasn't just blah blah blah, waiting for next action scene, but you were genuinely feeling for these characters. Well, I was anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know about you cold-hearted bastards on the internet, but um, it was a good film. Had
definitely.
some good, very good action scenes. We won't go into details, but it was competently shot. Same with the fight scenes. The fight scenes were very well choreographed. I think probably one of my favorite scenes was when the mercs and the police clashed in the streets.
That was like almost it, it kind of had the same feel as 300
Yeah.
almost. You
Um,
think like when Leonidas led his like Trooper 300 against like that massive like
Persian force.
Persian army, it was
Yeah.
kind of like that, but not. Did you know what I mean? It was almost like that sort of clash, that
Yeah.
sort of atmosphere.
And they had the soundtrack banging in the background, and it was building up and building up and building up.
Mm,
Um, yes, that was probably my favorite scene. That that scene, and the
yeah,
gunfire and the police. They had the tank there, and the police were just like, "Fuck it, we're going in."
that's it. Fuck you guys with your tanks and your machine guns.
Yeah. Um. Okay. We just talked about action scenes. What did you think of the story? We're not going to give plot points away. We're definitely not giving the ending away.
Mm.
What was your opinion on the story?
I thought it was a very good concept. I thought most of it worked. Again, obviously, there's a couple of niggling things,
Yeah.
which we'll cover later. But overall, I liked what they done with it. I mean, like choosing to like incorporate some more of Bruce Wayne's background and everything. That was a nice touch, I thought.
Yeah. I'm going to actually shock you in a minute because I'm going to tell you something that I'm now thinking upon it. It's going to quite shock you.
Okay.
I didn't like the ending.
Okay.
Upon reflecting, because we were talking about this on the way home,
Yep. Mm.
um, but upon thinking about it, I just didn't like the ending.
Nah.
Um,
See, it does leave it open to the viewer's speculation, doesn't it?
yes, but it also had a massive plot hole. But I'm not going to discuss that here. We will discuss that another time. But we
Yeah.
can't exactly let spoil the ending for our viewers. But I thought there was a big plot hole in the ending.